Hello students, hope you all are doing great. I'm Achal Chaudhary, working as an assistant professor in management department. I'm back with my online lecture series of income tax. And as you know, I'm covering the syllabus of BBA and BCom of all universities. So this is my second video from the basics of income tax. And if you haven't seen my previous video, then this video will not help you so much. So I request you to watch my previous lecture of income tax for your better understanding. I have provided the link in the description given below to help you to understand the basics of income tax. So let's start with today's lecture. So students, it's your lecture number 3 from Unit 1. In previous lecture we have studied how to compute your total income, your tax slab rate and exempted income. So today we will cover all the remaining topics from Unit 1, that is your tax avoidance, tax evasion, tax incidence, what is casual income, and also we will cover numerical related to the assessment of previous and you can say assessment year, and also we will solve a one numerical from the computation of total income and your tax, how to compute the tax liability. So let's start with today's lecture. First of all, let's start with the tax avoidance. What do you understand by tax avoidance? Tax avoidance is the use of legal methods of reducing taxable income or tax owed. There are plenty of methods approved by the IRS or state tax code that can help. The use of these legitimate ways for reducing tax liability is known as tax avoidance. So first thing students, that tax avoidance is your legal method. It helps in reducing your taxable income. It helps in like reducing your tax liability. There are many ways when you can reduce your tax liability, or you can say that the most common means of tax avoidance is accomplished by claiming all your permissible deductions and credits. Whenever you have a particular knowledge about the you can say that permissible deductions which are available to you to avoid your tax liability. So whenever you are having a proper knowledge, then you can use those deductions from your to deduct from your income, so that will help you legally. So it's a kind of a legal method, because students, there is a lot of confusion between tax avoidance and tax evasion. So please note down that tax avoid means किसी चीज को avoid करना, but यहाँ पर you are not you can say you are not doing something illegal thing. So it's just a avoidance, means it's a legal term, it's a legal method to reduce your tax liability. You can for example, to avoid tax, you can increase your retirement savings, you can focus on your health savings account. So by this you can avoid your tax liability, by this you can reduce your tax liability. So this is your tax avoidance. What is tax evasion? It is the use of illegal means to avoid paying your taxes. Tax evasion occurs when the taxpayer either evades assessment or evades payment. For example, if someone transfers assets to prevent the IRS from determining their actual tax liability, there is an attempt to evade tax assessment. However, if the assets are hidden after a tax liability has become due and owing, this is an attempt to evade payment. So basically students, just remember one thing, that tax evasion is a crime, and if you are or someone is looking for the tax evasion, then he will be punishable with serious penalties and with fines also. So never ever focus on the tax evasion, because it's a illegal thing. When you are hiding something from the department, from the tax department, and you want to avoid paying the tax on a particular income, So what you do, you just you don't mention particular income to in front of anyone. You don't show the assets, particular assets on in your balance sheet. So that is your tax evasion. For example, you are under reporting the income. आपकी income हुई है 2 lakh, but you are showing 1 lakh from a particular transaction. So this is your under reporting. And you can also not filing the tax return. You are deliberating the underpaying taxes. So these are the things which what you are doing is you are avoiding the tax, but through a illegal method. You are not paying the taxes properly. So for that purpose you will be punishable with fines and many more penalties. So never ever do the tax evasion. So it's a crime according to the Indian penal law. So this is your tax evasion. Next is tax incidence. Basically, tax incidence is the distribution of the overall tax burden between the sellers and buyers in an economy. So it's a, again it's a you can say legal term, legal method where you are just distributing your overall tax burden between seller and buyer. So there is no crime in doing this kind of thing. So it's a kind of a legal thing where you are just only distributing your tax burden. So, in other words, you can say it analyzes who is paying more of the overall taxes in the economy, the buyer or the seller. So, you will distribute accordingly whenever you analyze that who is paying more taxes and who is paying the less tax, overall less tax. So, this is a kind of a equal distribution. You want to distribute the tax burden accordingly. So, this is your tax incidence. So, students, the motive behind covering these definition is to make you understand about the terms, because these terms has been asked many times in your exams. So these can be asked in your short type of answers. Next term is casual income. Income received from winning lotteries, crosswords, puzzles, card games, horse race, gambling, betting, or any other game is known as your casual income. So, whenever students you are not having some sort of regular income, you are having कभी कभी होने वाले income. अब ऐसा तो नहीं है that you are going to win the lotteries every day. You are whenever you are trying for the lotteries और आपकी lottery लग जाती है, ऐसा तो नहीं है ना, right? If you are trying, you are playing in a game show. So आप शो में गए और शो में जाते ही आप गेम जीत गए. So it's not like that. These are the casual incomes जो regularly नहीं होती हैं. These are casually occurred. So casual income is taxed at a flat rate of 30%. As I told you in previous slide, that whenever we compute the tax rate while computing your total income, at that time we will calculate your income from casual income also. But income from other sources will not be counted at the time of tax slab, because the tax rate of income from other sources is different. It's 30%. आपकी tax liability 30% होती है. It is not like the जब भी आपका income from other sources है और casual income है कोई, so casual income जब होती है at the same time tax is deducted from that income, particular income. Whenever you get the income like casual income, so in that income your tax has been already deducted. Most of the case your tax has been already deducted, but in just in case if your has not been deducted till now, so in that case what you do, you will compute your tax liability on casual income, or you can say other income, separately at the rate of 30%. Next is income from growing and manufacturing tea. So whenever there is a income from the growing and manufacturing of tea, rubber or coffee, so in that case that will be divided into two parts. First we will consider it as your agricultural income, and the other one will be considered as your business income. So there is a specific percentage which has been mentioned in the Income Tax Act. On the basis of that, we will compute the what exactly income is related to the business income. So let's have a look. Income from growing and manufacturing of rubber. Whenever in question it is mentioned that the income, particular income is from growing and manufacturing of rubber, then 65% of that income will be considered as your agricultural income, and that will not be taxable, and 35% of that income will be taxable under the head of income from business or profession. Then income from growing and manufacturing of coffee. Whenever there is an income from the coffee manufacturing and growing of coffee, in that case income derived from the sale of coffee grown and cured. In that case 75% of income will be considered as your agricultural income, and 25% will be considered as your business income. Income derived from the sale of coffee grown, cured, roasted and grounded. In that case 60% will be considered as your agricultural income, and 40% will be considered as your business income. When income from growing and manufacturing of tea is given to you, in that case 60% will be your agricultural income and 40% will be computed as your income from business. So students, we have covered your assessment and previous year as a theory portion till now. So let's understand it with the help of the example which is related to the assessment and previous year. Example number 1. A is running a business from 1993 onwards. Determine the previous year for the assessment year 2020 and 21. So your assessment year जिसमें आप टैक्स पे कर रहे हो, that is your assessment year 2020-21. So आपका previous year क्या होगा, इससे previous वाला जो आपका year होगा that will be your previous year, right? So that will be your 1st April 2019 to 31st March 2020. So this is how you have to calculate, you have to determine which will be your previous year and what is your assessment year. Example number 2. A chartered accountant sets up his profession on 1st July 2019. Business he set up 1st July 2019 को हुआ है. So now you have to determine the previous year for the assessment year 2020-21. So जब business जब से start होगा, if it is started in your previous year only, so at the time जब से ये business start हुआ है तब से you will consider your previous year in. अगर आपका business पहले start ही नहीं हुआ है, so how will you consider it as your previous year, right? So here your previous year will be starting from 1st July 2019 to 31st March 2020. So आपका जो फर्स्ट मेन अकाउंटिंग ईयर है, अकाउंटिंग ईयर सेम फॉलो होगा इसमें. इट विल बी नॉट बी लाइक कि 1st जुलाई 2019 से 31st यू कैन से 30 जून 2020 तक हम लोग उसको कंसिडर करेंगे. नो, वी विल नॉट डू लाइक दिस. जब से आपका बिजनेस स्टार्ट हुआ है, दैट इज योर 1st जुलाई up to the your financial year, up to your completing of the financial year, that is your 31st March. So this is how we have to calculate your assessment and previous year. Let's have a look on the computation of tax liability. How we will compute the tax liability. Mr. X has a total income of rupees 12 lakh. 12 lakh की income है, comprising of his salary income and interest on fixed deposit. Compute his tax liability. So first thing, we are assuming it as Mr. X is below than 60 years old. So we will consider it as your computation of tax liability under the first lab rate. So computation of tax liability will be 12 lakh. First of all, as I told you कि इसको एक table format में solve करना, that will be easy for you. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल व्हाट यू हैव टू डू इज फर्स्ट 2,50,000 में आपका कोई टैक्स नहीं लगेगा, दैट विल बी योर नील एज यू कैन सी इन द सॉल्यूशन पार्ट। 12 लाख है टोटल इनकम, उसको डिवाइड करते चलना है, राइट। नेक्स्ट, from 2,50,000 to up to 5 lakh there is a tax rate of 5%. So 2,50,000 पे तो कोई टैक्स नहीं था। Then we will start from 2,50,000 to 5 lakh. So total amount कितना हुआ 2,50,000, 5% on 2,50,000 will be your 12,500. Then in next 5 lakh to up to 10 lakh, what will be the tax rate? That is 20%. So 5 lakh से 10 lakh के बीच में कितना amount हुआ? That is your 5 lakh. Then on that your tax rate will be, tax liability will be 1 lakh. Then what you have to do is आपने computation 10 lakh तक किया, up to you have done the computation up to 10 lakh. Now what you have to do is you have to find out कि अब कितना remaining portion है, that is your 12 lakh minus 10 lakh. So that will be your 2 lakh. So on 2 lakh what you have to compute is your tax liability will be computed at the rate of 30%, that will be 60,000. So your total tax liability is 1,72,500. So students, this is how you have to calculate your tax liability. I will again remind you कि अगर आप tax liability compute कर रहे हैं, if you are only computing your tax liability, then please remember that you should follow the tax slab rate. आपको एक table format में खुद से ही assume करना है that you are solving it through a table. जिस तरीके से मैंने आपको solve करके दिखाया है tax liability. Second, I'm talking about the second alternate. फर्स्ट ऑल्टरनेटिव में आपको कुछ समझ नहीं आएगा, दैट विल बी क्वाइट डिफिकल्ट फॉर यू, बट इन योर सेकेंड ऑल्टरनेटिव व्हाट यू हैव टू डू इज आपको स्टेप बाय स्टेप कैलकुलेशन करनी है, so that it will be easy for you. It will be time taking, no doubt, but it will be one of the easiest method. So students, that's it for today. Here are the questions based on today's lecture. Question number 1. What do you understand by tax avoidance? Question number 2. Explain tax evasion in detail. So students, both of these two questions has been already asked in your university exam. So solve both of these questions, and if you face any difficulty in any of the topic, then do let me know. I will arrange a doubt session for you then. Thank you so much for your time. Stay tuned for more videos.